stay-at-home order is set to take effect, and with it comes some new rules, including how many people can be in a store at one time. We're going to break it all down for you.
Betsy, 14 cases of the coronavirus reported at one nursing home. We have all the details. And working from home, it's a new normal for all of us. We're going to talk to an expert on how to stay organized and keep our sanity.
It's 2 o'clock somewhere, and here in Ohio, that means it's time for Wine with Dewine. Mike Polk is going to raise a glass and tell us about some wineries that are going to cash in by delivering to your house. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
It's Friday Eve, and the third year of our week now that we've been dealing with, but we are almost through with another week of our new normal. I'm Betsy Kling, and my co-host Jay Crawford is joining us from home. Hi there, Jay.
Hi, Betsy, and hello again to everybody at home. It's funny you say it's Friday Eve. I think by now all the days just seem to run together. They really do.
Day.
Well, we're going to show you live pictures right now from where President Trump will be giving his daily briefing on the coronavirus. We're standing by for him, and when he comes to the podium, we will take you there so you can hear his remarks just as soon as that happens. Well, we certainly hope that you are well and everybody is safe at home. We want to start today how we do every day, and that's by bringing you up to date on the very latest information concerning the coronavirus. And there is some new information to pass along. University Hospitals is now testing a new drug aimed to protect caregivers working on the front lines of COVID-19. The drug is called ARMS-1, and it may prevent airborne transmission. The trial will include clinical staff who are directly caring for patients. UH is working with researchers at Case Western Reserve University. They hope to begin that trial within 2 weeks. As expected, Governor Mike Dewine today extending the stay-at-home order. It will now go through May 1st. It was originally supposed to end on April 6th, which is when the new order will actually kick in. And coronavirus numbers, it's a milestone. The cases, positive cases now worldwide surpassing 1 million, and 1 in 5 of those cases, over 200,000, are here in the United States. Close to home in Ohio, the number of positive cases now up to 2,902, which is up only 400 cases from yesterday. 81 Ohioans have now died from the virus. And on a more uplifting note, University Hospitals is testing a new drug aimed at caregivers. I already mentioned that to you. That is going to begin in 2 weeks. Now, along with the governor's new stay-at-home order will come new rules that will actually limit the number of people allowed inside one store at a time. Laura Queso has been following that development, and she joins us now for more. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Jay. Yeah, and the governor is saying that he's taken our feedback to heart. He says he's filling the gaps when it comes to this second stay-at-home order that goes into effect, like we've been saying, Monday night. So how will this affect you? Well, when it comes to grocery shopping, we all need to do it, but state leaders want to see less people in the store at one time. So the order requires retail businesses to establish a number of people who should be in that business at one time. This is all, Jay, to avoid overcrowding. Again, we should be staying at least 6 feet away from one another.
But we want each of these businesses to set a number, post a number. Everybody in the store knows the number. And then if they fill up to that number, then they stop people from coming in.
Now, he also mentioned that you may see tape on the ground at certain stores at checkout or perhaps outside. This is to make sure that we stay 6 feet away from each other. Another part of the order deals with people coming into the state of Ohio. This may affect you and your loved ones. I will break that all down for you when I see you back here at 6 o'clock.
All right, Laura Queso, we'll see you then. Thank you. Betsy?
Well, now to a developing story in Aurora. Anna Maria Nursing Home is dealing with an outbreak of COVID-19 cases, including 1 death. Our Tiffany Tarpley has more information.
So far, 10 residents have tested positive, and so have 4 staff members here at Anna Maria of Aurora in Portage County. Now, this is a longtime family-owned and operated business. The administration, we got some information from them this afternoon, and they tell us that those 4 staff members are recovering in isolation at home. This statement was sent to 3 News Today, which says in part, one of their residents, an 85-year-old with significant health conditions, passed away at a local hospital after being treated for COVID-19. Now, they have converted a segregation rehab unit as an isolation and recovery area for affected residents. At this time, it's unclear how everyone became sick, especially when we talk about these regulations that have been made at nursing homes. Of course, this is a story we will continue to follow as it develops. Tiffany Tarpley, 3 News.
Well, as we've seen in other parts of the country, nursing homes are a particular focus, so we're praying for those folks now. Well, now on your feet at 5, the number of unemployed people in Ohio has spiked as the coronavirus pandemic continues. New numbers released today show the number of unemployment claims filed within the last 2 weeks now stands at a staggering 468,000. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski is breaking down all the numbers.
To put those numbers in perspective, 364,000 unemployment claims were filed during the entire year of 2019. And as you just mentioned, we hit 468,000 in just 2 weeks after Governor Dewine issued the stay-at-home order. Now, a number of 3 News viewers have called and emailed telling me they're having issues applying. I tried too.
Press 1, press 4, press 5.
And when they try and get a hold of someone at the unemployment office,
We are currently experiencing an exceptionally high call volume.
no answer.
And the fact that going on week 2 of nothing, of no communication with them, and no way of being able to get a hold of them, it's frustrating. And I'm sure it's frustrating for, millions of others are out there right now have the same problem.
I bet you I was on the phone 2 hours yesterday, Rachel, trying to get someplace, and I have gotten nowhere. I mean, my patients have ran out with them. I don't know what to do anymore.
Lieutenant Governor John Husted has acknowledged this problem and says eligible people need not worry. Even if you can't submit your application right away, your filing date will be retroactive to when you first tried to apply, meaning you will still be able to get the money you are entitled to. Now, I just talked with State Representative Jeff Crossman, who tells me if you're having trouble applying, his best advice is to call your local lawmaker. And if you don't know who that is, head on over to WKYC.com and we can help you find out. Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
Well, more of our first responders are now testing positive for the coronavirus. Mark Namick explains just how many are battling.
4 EMS workers now have the virus, which means they join hundreds of first responders here and around the country who have gotten sick taking care of those who are sick. 6 Berea firefighters recently tested positive. Their union not offering updates on their health, but saying the department remains committed to the community. Nationally, incomplete statistics show nearly 900 firefighters have COVID-19, forcing nearly 3,000 into quarantine.
That was some preliminary numbers with Mark Namick reporting. He'll have much more on what local firefighter and EMS unions are doing to protect our first responders coming up tonight at 6. Jay?
Well, Betsy, for most of us, the time we most need to leave the house is to go get groceries. But if you're anything like all of us, you're wondering, is that completely safe? And are there alternatives? Here's Brandon Simmons now with some alternative ways to pick up those much-needed supplies. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Jay. Yeah, we just heard from Laura telling us how they don't want us in grocery stores. They're trying to limit the number of people that go out. Fortunately for all of us, there are options out there. And the first thing you need to do is obviously grab your phone and download your favorite app. Now, there are a couple ways where you can go out and get your shopping done, well, without going out to get your shopping done. Instacart will deliver groceries to you from a bunch of different stores. Also, Giant Eagle offers their Curbside Express. And then there's Walmart Grocery. But the one I want to focus on mainly is Instacart because they offer a number of different stores within their app. So the cool thing about them, we've seen the stories recently about shoppers who go to the stores for you. They pick up your groceries, whatever it is you may need, and they bring it directly to your house. Now, it's really simple. Once you sign up for an account in the app, you'll see where you can pick out a number of different things. You can do a search by item. You can also do searches by categories. It also allows you to build up a list of things that you know you may want for your house. So once you go through that app and sign up, you'll get to an area where it has you put in your address, where you need it to be brought to. You put in a phone number, and then what's really cool is you can pick a delivery time. So you get to go in and pick which day you need those groceries delivered to you. And then finally, one feature that they've added as of late is you can have them leave all of those groceries right at your front door, which is a really good thing because obviously we're trying to limit the contact that we have with other people, and that includes the people who are shopping for your groceries. So those are just some of the apps that you can use to get those groceries delivered right to your house. But one thing I do want to tell you is you need to be placing your orders early. There are a lot of people out there right now who are trying to get their groceries delivered to them. Obviously, as we all abide by this stay-at-home order, you're not alone, so you have to be patient. If you know you're going to need groceries maybe coming up in a few days, maybe you place that order right now. You don't want to wait until when you need them to go ahead and do it, Jay. So obviously, you need to go get one of those apps. Instacart's the one I suggest, but there are others for all the stores you may shop at.
Brandon, that last tip is a great one because I know we tried to do this yesterday for some family members in the area, and we were told at our local grocery store they had no available times for the next 4 weeks. So planning ahead is key, and even if you do that, you may not be able to get an order delivered to you. Brandon Simmons, thank you very much. Right now, we want to get a check of some of the other headlines making news at this hour, and for that, we go back to our WKYC studios and say hello to Russ Mitchell. Russ, I haven't seen you in a while. I certainly hope you're hanging in there and doing well.
I'm hanging in there. You look great, my friend. You doing okay?
Doing as well as we can. Thanks, Russ.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Good afternoon, everybody. The state has put out a call to speed up the final exams of about 300 police cadets and get them on the streets as soon as possible. Attorney General David Yost also wants retirees brought back and recertified to boost the ranks of law enforcement across the state. Kent State University is changing its admission policy to accommodate high school seniors. Kent is waiving ACT and SAT test requirements for fall applicants. It's also waiving application fees. The deadline to apply for fall and be considered for merit scholarships is now May 1st, and the deadline to confirm enrollment is now June 1st. Case Western's Health Education Building is being turned into a surge hospital. In collaboration with the Cleveland Clinic, it will be used to treat coronavirus patients who need to be in the hospital but do not need to be on a ventilator. And members of the Highway Patrol, Medina Police, and National Guard put together 1,200 packages of food for school kids who qualify for assistance. That food was distributed today at the Medina Fairgrounds. And that is all for now. Jay, I'll see you at 5:30.
Russ, we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you very much. Sure. Coming up next on What's New, working from home is new for many of us, and while it might seem fun at first, it can be overwhelming. We go to an expert for ideas to help keep us organized and, most importantly, keep us sane until we get back to normal. Stephanie, what's clicking in Cleveland today?
Jay, people have found a creative and artistic way to share messages with each other while they take their solo walks, and we'll share some of those coming up. Now let's head over to Matt Wentz's house to check in on the weather. Matt, how's it looking?
Well, hi there, Stephanie. A beautiful day to get outside across Northeast Ohio. It's a little bit cool, though, but we're going to warm things up over the next 7 days. We've got the numbers for you coming up in the forecast.
Welcome back to What's New. Many of us will be working at home for at least the next month. And for most of us, this is a very new experience, and it can be at times just a little bit frustrating. Our Stephanie Haney talked with Mo Vella from Transparent Business, who has advice that we all could use for how to get through this very trying time.
Welcome to my at-home work setup. For a lot of people, working from home has been sort of this unattainable dream for a long time, but now so many of us are doing it that have never done it before.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Why is it so hard?
It's different and it's a change. And so, you know, it's one of those things, be careful what you ask for kind of things in life. Well, now, you know, we've been wanting to do it for a while, and now we're going to have to do it. So it's really important to set that routine. Get up in the morning and act like you're actually going to go to your old office setting, right? Or wherever you work. And so that means get up, shower, get ready, put your makeup on, do your hair, right? Put on some type of an outfit that's presentable, and then go to what I call establishing your boundaries by designating a specific workspace in your home.
I don't know if you're looking at the background here, but I'm in a one-bedroom situation here. It's not a big space. It really feels like my entire space is taken over by work.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations if you are living in kind of a small area?
It's important. When you're at your desk where you are right now, for example, try to stay away from there when you're doing personal stuff, so that in your mind, right, and in your heart, you have a break. It's very important right now for us to engage in self-care. So if it means taking a walk and engaging in social distancing or reading a book, but don't read the book at that desk, Stephanie, so that you have a distinction in your mind. That'll help rest your soul just a little bit.
That's great advice. Steph, I'm wondering if Mo had any advice on how we communicate with our bosses.
He sure did, Jay. He said if you're thinking about sending that text, if you're thinking about sending that email, just go ahead and send it. The message there is our bosses are nervous too. This is also new for them, which is why work from home has been such a scarce thing around up until this time. So just go ahead and over communicate it as much as possible. Use that video chat. He also had a message of positivity for us too, and he said we really need to try to focus on the positive right now, whether that's no commute or being able to eat at home in your own kitchen or spending more time with yourself or with your family if you live with family at home.
Very cool. I would ask him if he has any advice on how to deal with the annoying delay that we all have to work with, but I'm sure that's a problem that only we are having to work through. Stephanie, thanks. We'll see you in just a little bit with Clicking in Cleveland. From Steph's house now to Matt's house. And Matt, I wanted to say this to you today. Every time I throw it to weather, I have a huge smile on my face because I get to see how Emmy and River are doing. So with that in mind, our weather word today is smile.
Oh, Jay, that makes my heart melt. Seriously. Hey, guys, Uncle Jay said that he loves seeing you guys every single day, and it makes his heart smile. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
You love your Uncle Jay, don't you?
Yeah.
They just found out they have an Uncle Jay.
Well, tell him he's thinking about them.
I will. I'll Photoshop you into the family pictures here over the next couple of weeks. We'll slowly introduce you. That's to not scare anybody. But guys, it's been great. The sunshine makes such a world of difference this time of year. We mentioned that yesterday once it broke out. We were in full sunshine today, and I think more of the same tomorrow. Take a look at the satellite right now. Yep, this is running. We've got no clouds within sight across northeast Ohio. The closest clouds, though, as we zoom on out, really off to the west, just west of Chicago and off to the east as well, but all of Ohio is clear right now under the influence of high pressure. But look at the system off towards the east. We'll focus on that first. Big old area low pressure swirling off the coast of New England. That is coming backwards, and what that's doing is kind of putting a stop on the atmospheric movement. So that system out in the plains, I mentioned that'd take till Sunday to get here. That's exactly what's happening. There's a big old hold overhead, and we happen to fall where it's sunny. But it's cool, and you know, when we could see down to the earth from the atmosphere without clouds, you get a good good picture of Lake Erie, and Lake Erie's looking good today. This is the latest MODIS satellite imagery, courtesy of our satellites up in space. Pretty nice, huh? All right, over the last 2 weeks, here's the cloud cover. You can see most of the days have been filled with clouds, especially over the last 6 days. We've had 80% or more cloud cover. That is why this feels so nice as we bring in the sunshine. But as I mentioned, it's cooler near the lake. We're in the 40s near the lake shore. Elsewhere, we're well into the 50s. Temperatures actually over-impressed over models today, and that made everyone smile across the area as we had temperatures that were well up into the 50s this afternoon. As we take hour by hour through that National Design Mart forecast, it's going to be a cold night tonight. We're back into the lower 30s, but we're going to keep those clear skies. Friday looking very similar to today. I do think we get a little wave of cooler temperatures in here as that system off towards the east pushes maybe a degree or two cooler. You'll barely even notice it. So tomorrow's get outside forecast looks like this. I've got us at a 9, a sun-filled Friday. Great any hour of the day. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. We warm up into the 60s area-wide on Saturday. There's your slight chance of rain on Sunday. Doesn't look like much. And the next week, off to the races with those temperatures should reach the upper 60s to near 70 for at least 2 or 3 days there. Jay?
Matt, great word, great work on the weather word. I love your signs. I love your signs, and I'm sure someone is watering your plant on your desk. And also, I've thought a lot about this. As much as we love having you in the studio, we may just keep you at home even after this because it's been so much fun seeing you with your kids.
No, Jay, I'm good.
I bet you are. All right, What's News is going to take a break. We're coming right back. When we do, Stephanie Haney is going to tell us what's clicking in Cleveland. There are messages of hope for you today. Stay with us.
We go now to the White House press briefing room with President Trump's daily conference.
Employers keep paying their workers. Got to take care of your workers. Furthermore, we want Social Security beneficiaries to know that if they are typically not required to file a tax return, they don't have to file one in order to receive the direct cash payments that will soon be distributed to American citizens. The Treasury will deposit the money directly into the bank accounts. And don't forget, I will always protect your Social Security, your Medicare, and your Medicaid. We're protecting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and I always will. I'd like now to invite SBA Administrator Jovita Carranza, who's doing a fantastic job. She's going to be very busy in the next little while. And Secretary Steve Mnuchin to say a few words about these vital initiatives, and then we'll get on to the attack of the virus itself. And please, if I might, Steve and Jovita.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. And Mr. Vice President, Secretary Mnuchin.
Of course, we'll be continuing to stream this press conference live at WKYC.com and also on the WKYC app. In the meantime, we're going to switch gears and head over to what's clicking in Cleveland. Folks are definitely keeping an eye on this situation all across the country. And Stephanie, a lot of big celebrity names are getting in on some really cool stuff.
They really are, Betsy, and Oprah Winfrey is highlighting incredible work that's being done right now, and she's putting her money where her mouth is. Chef Jose Andres of World Central Kitchen and Feeding America CEO Claire Babineau-Fontenot have teamed up with Leonardo DiCaprio, Laureen Powell Jobs, and Apple to launch America's Food Fund to help feed local communities.
We are going to be here together to make sure that we feed America in this moment. And we are going to come out of this crisis stronger than ever, making sure that we don't leave anybody behind.
I want to be the first person to go to the website is GoFundMe/America's Food Fund, and I'm going to donate $1 million. Because
She is not stopping there. She's donating $9 million more to general relief in cities across the country and areas where she grew up to help people in need right now during this pandemic. Here in Ohio, people are using something as simple as sidewalk chalk to share messages of hope and leave those behind for people as we go on our solo walks. And we've got some of those to share with you right now. Take a look at this. We have this one that says, "We are in this together, but stay 6 feet apart," with the globe and the ruler. A message to smile with balloons and a heart, a peace sign with tie-dye, and there's the be the reason someone smiles reminder, and then of course the classic have a great day with a smiley face. So this is great to see. This is happening actually all over the country, not just here in Ohio. And if you can't get outside, because we recognize not everyone can, you can see these if you check the hashtag #ChalkYourWalk. And they're really all over the place. It's just such a great way to sort of share that little message of hope and communicate if we can't be right next to each other, Betsy.
And it's a really cool way to get your kids involved too, because they can get outside and get some fresh air, and nobody knows chalk art like kids do. So, good times. Thanks so much,
right.
Stephanie. Appreciate it. How about Oprah? Oh. Anyway, new at 5, Monica Robbins is back in the Health Hub answering more of your questions. And today she finds out when you should go to the hospital if you think you have the virus. We are getting a lot of those questions. Plus, how University Hospitals is making sure the hardworking doctors and nurses are able to get a much-needed break amidst all the chaos. And we have an alternative to regular grocery stores. Doug Tratner takes us to a local gem, and they could really use your business.
Now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, that's partly true. Betsy's live at WKYC Studios, and I'm Jay Crawford, still broadcasting from my home. Betsy, this is challenging, and seriously, one of the hardest parts is you and I have become a huge part of one another's life. I enjoy seeing you, spending time with you every day, and now we're doing it virtually on this, this mix-up thing. Right? I miss my Betsy. I do.
Oh, I always think about, I have this problem when I'm talking to somebody, I tend to touch them, or when they're being silly, I kind of smack them a little bit. I haven't been able to smack you around, so I kind of feel like I'm missing something
Just reach
here.
out and air smack me.
Over that way, over this way. All right, well, thank you so much. We do have some neat news to tell people right now. Mentor's Public Safety Department is taking public awareness in the middle of this coronavirus outbreak to the next level. The fire department and public information staff just put together a PSA encouraging citizens to be a part of the solution. And in order to do that, you got to keep helping EMS workers by not calling them and overwhelming them with calls. Take a look.
Before calling 911, ask yourself, is this really an emergency? If you are facing a life-threatening situation.
Okay, that is a good question to ask no matter when you call 911. Is this an emergency? Well, the Mentor Community Relations Administrator, Ante Logarusik, thanks a lot, producers, for putting that name in there with no pronunciation. He narrates the PSA and he describes the differences between life-threatening situations and non-emergencies when calling 911. The video also gives tips on how to recognize the symptoms of coronavirus. Ante told us the video is serving as a model for other communities who've been overwhelmed with help calls.
They're concerned that 911 is going to get inundated. The EMS response services are going to get inundated. So we thought it'd be a good idea to get out ahead of it.
Well, Ante says the response has been great, and the video has been out there online and on social media for about a week. It's got about 20,000 views. That's the kind of stuff that is an easy share on Facebook. So you can go to the Mentor Fire Department page and see that. Jay.
Well, Betsy, let's get everyone caught up now on the very latest concerning the coronavirus. Governor Mike Dewine is extending the stay-at-home order statewide. It will now go through May 1st. The new order also comes with some new limitations on the number of people who can be inside stores at one time. And that's a good thing because I've seen pictures on social media of people crammed into lines and being way too close to one another. He's also asking people who travel into Ohio from other states to self-quarantine for 14 days. Well, this is a troubling story. A nursing home in Aurora has confirmed 14 cases of the coronavirus. 10 residents and 4 staff members at Anna Maria Nursing Home tested positive for the virus. 1 resident has died. The staff members are now in isolations at home. And the number of coronavirus cases has now surpassed 1 million people globally. 1 in 5 of those cases, more than 200,000, are right here in the United States. All right, it is time now for our top talker this half hour, and your coronavirus questions continue to pour into our text hotline. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, has been very hard at work. She goes through all of these and selects which ones will be passed on to our experts. Here she is again in today's What's New Health Hub.
Joining me now in the Health Hub is Dr. Amy Ray, head of infection prevention at Metro Health. Do you think it's dangerous for a medical office to require a patient to come in for a urine screen or blood work?
If you have concerns about being exposed to COVID while you're in a medical setting, then that should prompt a call to your physician before you, or communication to your physician or provider before you arrive. But essentially, a conversation needs to happen there between you and your doctor, which carefully weighs the risks and the benefits of you coming in.
If you think you have the virus, what indicators make it serious enough to go to the hospital as opposed to treating it at home?
So the indicators for hospital stay should be if you are short of breath, if you feel like you're gasping for air, certainly if you have chest pain, if you're unable to maintain enough intake of fluids, to remain hydrated. So if your urine becomes dark and you're feeling lightheaded, those could be signs that you're not adequately keeping up with your intake in terms of fluids and food.
What precautions do we need to take for delivery or pickup of groceries?
The interaction between you and the person dropping off your groceries should be so incredibly short. So this is not what I would consider an exposure, even if you're spending time with them. You'd have to be pretty close to them for at least several minutes, and that seems to me to be unlikely in that setting. And then the other piece of this is if they're leaving your groceries, the question then becomes, could you possibly contaminate your hands or your food from handling the bag or the contents of the bag? And that is very, very unlikely. This is a virus that doesn't like to survive for a long time on surfaces, but certainly after you're putting away groceries and before you're preparing food, hand hygiene would always be recommended.
Committed to bringing you facts, not fear. Monica Robbins, 3 News.
Those questions do just keep on coming in, and we'll keep on answering, won't we? Well, Russ Mitchell, of course, joins us now with today's top stories. Hi there, Russ.
Hey there, Betsy. Going to begin with those staggering unemployment numbers you told us about the last hour. In Ohio, the number of claims filed within the last week stands at almost 470,000. Now, to give you some perspective, about 364,000 claims were filed during all of last year. Nationwide, unemployment has hit a record of 6.6 million. The passengers stuck on those 2 Holland American cruise ships will be allowed to disembark soon. The ships will dock in Fort Lauderdale. Some 1,200 guests who are well will go straight home, but about 10 critically ill patients will be taken to local hospitals. And to help its healthcare workers during this stressful time, University Hospitals now has relaxation rooms in all of its facilities. Those rooms have noise machines along with aromatherapy and snacks. Betsy, maybe you can use your considerable influence here to get a room like that for us as well.
I think we have a folding chair, and maybe we could dig around in some of the refrigerators for some snacks.
That's right. And I'm sure somebody here will yell at us if we want to, just relax for that.
You're not on that team. Exactly. That's the wrong refrigerator.
Yes, we have teams here. There are certain areas we can go, all for the need, for safety's sake. But you're right. Someone will scream at us and tell us wrong place.
Yeah.
So I guess that's not happening, is what you're trying to tell me.
Exactly. Well, we'll get it all hooked up. I promise. We're doing all right.
All right.
Got to keep that humor going for sure.
There you go.
Thanks so much, Russ. Appreciate it. Well, it's now time to take a little break from the coronavirus. Here's Stephanie Haney with your pop break.
Stella McCartney knows how to have a good time. Here she is sledding down her staircase to occupy herself while she's hanging out at home and challenging others, including Drew Barrymore, to do it too.
I don't think this is the way it's supposed to look.
Nope, don't think so, Drew. Fair warning, maybe don't try this at home. A who's who of country music are coming together to remember Kenny Rogers, who passed away last month.
Take a look at me.
The special airs on April 8th with tons of virtual performances, including Dolly Parton. And speaking of Dolly, the book lady will be reading to kids every Thursday on YouTube starting tonight with The Little Engine That Could.
It's a real positive little book for the times right now. I think I can, I think we can, and I think we will.
Yes, we will, Dolly. The Netflix documentary Tiger King made him a household name. Now, former big cat breeder Joe Exotic wants either Brad Pitt or David Spade to portray him in a new movie.
My name's Joe Exotic and this is Sarge.
Despite Joe's picks, it's a hot ticket and other actors are trying to claim the role, including Dax Shepard and Edward Norton. And married actors Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are spending their days at home with their 3 little girls and Blake's mom. So what's Ryan doing?
But I'm mostly drinking.
Kidding aside, Ryan says he helps homeschool the girls and works in the family's garden. And today, Blake is giving him a haircut.
She's done this once before. Yeah? It took 2.5 hours. And then at the end, it looked like she'd done the whole thing using only a lighter.
Oh my
my gosh, hair, what an ordeal. You know, we've got lots of stars sharing their roots growing out, Kelly Ripa and others. I'm about due for a highlight, so y'all are going to see the real me here real quick. But we're all getting creative. Betsy, how's it holding up over there? Are you cutting anybody's hair? Anybody cutting your hair yet?
Not yet, but I think it's the hair color that's going to be the challenge of everything. Truth be told, I soaked off, I do the dip nails. I soaked those off today, and I tried some of the nail polish stickers. If you haven't seen those, I literally just contacted a lady in Westlake and said, send me some. I'm going to share with my friends. So I'm going to have a virtual nail polish sticker party. Who knew?
I'm there. I'll be there.
I'll bring you some. Anywho, thank you so much, Stephanie. We're all going to just kind of interesting together. All right. Shopping small with jam-packed grocery stores. We've got an alternative that you may want to check out. And Matt, gotta ask you, how's the weather looking?
Well, hi, Betsy. A beautiful day outside. I'm sure Northeast Ohio is soaking up the sunshine. We've got another day tomorrow. We know that. But what happens as we go into the weekend and next week? I'll explain coming up.
How about that sunshine, y'all? Boy, did we need that. Certainly nice to see crystal clear blue skies outside. And of course, that means Matt is out in the backyard. What's on the menu today? More mud pies?
Well, you know what, Betsy, since our last hit, things have gone downhill significantly. The kids went inside. Emmy was getting a little grumpy. River was too. Poor mama right now. The signs are all over the place. My chair's sinking into the ground. I think we just need to cancel this weather hit. It's really got downhill very fast.
You got this. I promise. You got this.
Well, you're so supportive. I appreciate that. But, you know, the one thing that we do have and that we all have today, thankfully, is the bright sunshine that's been shining down on us. And it's done a number on our temperatures. Boy, models keeping us in the 40s, low 50s. And we were up into the mid, even upper 50s across northern Ohio. So I don't see a reason why we don't do that again tomorrow, outside of a little push of some northerly wind tomorrow off a system off to the east. But here are your temperatures now. 49 downtown. Compare that with 57 in Akron right now. We're a little bit cooler out towards Ashtabula County. County, even Chardon sitting at 50 degrees. We're all going to cool down tonight, though, with light winds and clear skies. We'll be down near the freezing mark for many of you, others just in the mid-30s. But you can see we've got cool air in the northeastern half of the United States, a warm up in the plains, but look at that contrast happening up near Minnesota. 60 in Minneapolis right now, 17 degrees in Bismarck. Minneapolis is expecting snow tomorrow. That's how quickly their situation will change. But we're not going to deal with that system till Sunday, and it'll really be dying out as it moves in. So maybe some showers, but other than that, we've got a pretty dry set of days here. Your hour-by-hour forecast brought to you by National Design Mart takes us into the 30s tonight under clear skies. More sunshine expected across the area for your Friday afternoon. I think temperatures very similar to today. The computer models there are obviously underdoing it a little bit. And then on to Saturday, again, more of the same. We will see clouds increase on Saturday, though. And the Universal Windows Direct forecast shows that those clouds increase Saturday, but will remain dry. Sunday's our next chance of rain, and then next week we warm up, but we bring in some showers and some thunderstorms as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, and we return back to reality later on next week. So I'm going to go check in on Mama, make sure she's okay. Betsy, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt. Good luck. Godspeed. Well, I got to tell you guys, this is kind of a cool story coming up because we know everybody's running to the grocery stores. Well, don't forget we have Asian grocery stores right here in Northeast Ohio, and they were particularly hard hit when COVID-19 began, and that was because of stereotypes. But now they need your business, and they are a great alternative to busier grocery store chains. 3 News food expert Doug Tratner reports.
We're at Asian Food Company, an Asian market in Asian Town, Cleveland, and I'm here with Andy of Ice or Rice. Andy, you do tours of Asian markets.
That's absolutely correct. One of the things that we do is that we take people on local tours of our Asian Town, and we show them everything that's available around here. And then we follow that up with a taste of all types of fruits, vegetables, snacks, drinks. That way people can determine for themselves what they like from first-hand experience.
I've been shopping at Asian Foods for many years. They used to be on, I think, St. Clair, and then they moved here about 10 years ago when I think the family built this whole mall. What I love about these Asian markets is, like you said, there are so many different things here that you won't find in your typical grocery store.
Their produce aisles, like everything is super fresh. That's because like a lot of the ingredients, such as ginger, gets used up and resupplied very, very constantly. You're getting best price, but also the freshest produce as well.
It might just be me, but I think the prices at markets like this are so much lower than they are at normal grocery stores.
That's absolutely true. The suppliers for Asian markets are directly targeted at Asian markets. They're separate from the suppliers that would normally go to places like Westside Market or Giant Eagle. One of the things I like to feature is something called the kaffir lime leaf. It is absolutely essential ingredient in a lot of Thai curries. For most people, they'll just forgo it because they can't find it anywhere else. But here, you'll be able to get a package of it for about $1.
I walked around this market, as did you just a few minutes ago. We saw a lot of breathing room. Yes. Is the problems that they're having unique, or is it kind of across the board in terms of groceries?
I would say that near the beginning of the pandemic, there was a lot of anxiety around visiting Asian businesses, restaurants, markets like these. Of course, with the shutdown, with the shelter in place, it is affecting a lot of other businesses pretty equally.
Nobody knows for sure when this will end, but if and when will you be doing these tours again? Will they pick up in spring or summer?
Currently, looking at the trajectory of things, we do not anticipate having any tours this year, just because we want to make sure that all our guests are completely safe, that they have absolutely nothing to worry about. So we are anticipating continuing the tours next year.
Well, Andy, I appreciate you coming out here and sharing your knowledge, and hopefully we'll all be able to take a tour with you soon.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it.
I'll tell you what, I've tried some new recipes, but I haven't crossed the cultural divide. Maybe now is the time to get some new Chinese food in our diets. Well, for the address for this and other great markets like it in Asia Town, you can visit WKYC.com/Doug Tratner. He's a good dude. Well, wine with the wine. It's 2 o'clock somewhere, right? Mike Polk raises his glass and shows us who will deliver wine to you from right here in Northeast Ohio.
typical day around 2 o'clock, we gather around a TV. Welcome back to What's New. If I would have told you about a month ago that part of our new normal would include gathering around our TVs and computers every day at 2 o'clock to watch Governor Dewine, well, nobody could have imagined that at all. But that is our new normal. That's part of our new lives, in fact. And as we do that, we watch he and his awesome health director, Dr. Amy Acton, give us the latest updates on the coronavirus. So many are making this appointment viewing now that, well, Mike Polk tells us wine with Dewine has become a real thing.
There's actually a bit of a movement going on right now called Wine with Dewine, where Ohioans enjoy a little vino while getting the news of the day from the governor and his lovable supporting cast of characters. Now, I wanted to give this a try for myself, but I am embarrassingly out of wine.
Luckily, many of Ohio's wineries are now offering home delivery, and I called CLE Urban Winery to help me out.
Oh, here they are. Nice.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm Destiny Burns from CLE Urban Winery, bringing happiness and joy to the neighborhoods.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your service. Please enjoy a promotional headshot that's absolutely free. It's been sterilized.
Phenomenal. I know just where to put this in the winery.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait. All right, so I went with the Buckeye Blackberry Merlot. What a great way to unwind during a terrible, terrible situation. It smells like wine. I don't know anything about wine. Oh, he's coming up. He's coming up. There he is! Mikey D in the house! Am I doing it right? Tell us it's all gonna be okay. He won't. Apparently we're being robbed of Fran Dewine. Sometimes she comes out as the warm-up act, gives like a nice butter cookie recipe or something, tells everybody they're doing a good job. Sign language lady is bringing the heat today. Bring out Dr. Acton. We need some Acton action out here. Let me just top this off for a sec here. Oh, here she comes. Comes Dr. Amy. Remind us to wash our hands. I would like to see a stethoscope draped around her neck. I think that's the next move to make me feel even more comfortable. I know that some people might look down upon people drinking alone, but first of all, special circumstances. And secondly, I am not alone. I'm very much with company. Right, McDuff? He knows what I'm talking about. Quick ranking of the cast members of the Wine with Dewine press conferences. Sorry, bottom of the list, Lieutenant Governor John Husted. I get it, you gotta be there, whatever, but move it along, buddy. Next, Governor Mike DeWine. We wouldn't be here without you, buddy, but you don't have the star power of my top two. Next, extremely emphatic sign language lady. You should tackle everything that you ever attempt in your life with the same enthusiasm as extremely emphatic sign language lady. And of course, number one, Dr. Amy Acton, the Meryl Streep of the 2 p.m. governor press conferences. So here's to you, Dr. Acton, and to the entire 2 p.m. DeWine press conference team. Thanks for giving us something to do and somewhere to be at 2 p.m. every day. Cheers.
Oh, Mike Polk, I cannot thank you enough for that. I'm going to rank my favorite moments from that piece, just the top two. The emphatic sign language lady, I love that you have given her a little bit more recognition, but my favorite part of that by far, I don't think this has ever happened before. Governor Mike Dewine was referred to on TV as Mikey D, my favorite part of the piece. Again, Mike, I've said this throughout this, but thank you for being a much-needed source of humor during this tough time. By the way, if you're buying wine and want to help a great cause, how about this? Through April 15th, CLE Urban Winery, which made a little appearance there in Mike's piece, they're going to be donating 5% of online sales to the Cleveland Food Bank. You can find more info on how you can experience your favorite wine in Ohio stores on WKYC.com. Also, a quick little tidbit. I read this today. Alcohol sales nationwide up 55% since we've been told to stay at home. We're going to wrap up this edition of What's New right after our final break. Stay with us.
Testing, testing. Hello there. Hi, can you hear me? Okay.
Am I good? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Cool, thanks.